What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, the ghost of T.Sizzle, back for another visit. So, you know, when you're on YouTube, right? When you are a content creator, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you're gonna see like a dumbass comment. It's gonna happen. Sometimes you're gonna see just a stupid ass comment, right? It's gonna happen where somebody somebody misquoted you, or they don't really understand what you're talking about, or they don't really understand what you're doing or whatever. So there's this comment from I don't know if this is like an actual, like, it's a female, but I don't know if it's like a dude just using like a female profile pic, and it's the dude that I actually did this to. I don't know or not. But so there was a video on my old channel, and I ain't gonna say the person's name, but this video on my old channel titled where somebody said, "Hey man, yo, I had made a song. Can you do a reaction to it?" I said, "Sure." And I did a reaction to it, and then I think I kept it up, and then I believe I kept the song up for a day, and then I took it down. Right? The reason why, and so the person gonna tell me in the comment, the reason why your channel, hold on, no, it's a female. It's a female supposedly. So let me do a female voice. It's the reason why your channel got deleted is because it's karma. It's karma because you had a video up doing a reaction to your subscriber and then you deleted it. It's karma. Right? So I'm like, okay. So I responded. I said, I ain't the only person going through this situation. There's other people who've got their channel falsely deleted. It's not just me. Right? And she's like, it's over. You're done for, and all of this stuff because you treat your subscribers like shit, or some shit she said, and I'm like, what? So I'm gonna do a response to that stupid ass comment. So first and foremost, the person that I did that reaction to, they actually got in contact with me like months and months before I made that video. I would say about, I don't even remember, maybe like at least like six, 7 months. Dude was like, "Hey bro, you got some good music, man. We should do some songs together. We should do some songs together." I said, "Yo, I was like, what's your I was like, what kind of beats you like? What kind of stuff do you like to rap on?" "Man, I like that old school shit, I like that boom bap shit that you be rapping on." I said, "Okay, cool. Because, during that time, I was open to collab with people, Didn't matter if I knew you or not. If you was cool, I was open to collab with people and shit. So we had exchanged information. And I had gave him a few guest verses to hop on. And and I told him, I said, "Hey man, I said you could do the verses and over your phone, And I said, take your time, man. I said take your time. I said I'll prefer if you can like get these verses done by July." And I believe when I said that, it was like January. I said, "Yo, yeah, man, you got about 5-6 months to knock these out," because I wasn't rushing it because, I wasn't rushing it, because he said, I think he works and he hasn't rapped in a long time, so he's a little rusty. So I wanted to give him as long, as much time possible before he hopped on the song. So I said, hey, are you gonna? I was like, hey, do you think you could do it by July? I said, do you think you can? Cause I believe I gave him like 5 songs, if I'm not mistaken. I said, do you think I could do it? I said, do you think you could do it by July? He said, yeah, man. He said, yeah, I can do that. I said, cool. All right. So I'm waiting. There's a couple times where I had sent him a couple messages, a couple emails, and he didn't really answer it. And then I think he sent me like one email, and then I responded, but he didn't answer. And then I believe I sent him like one last song like a couple months ago, and he just wasn't responding to my emails, like he wasn't answering. That was why in that reaction video I said, hey man, I said, yo bro, I said, hey man, yeah, I was like, you got some good music. I said, this song's pretty good, but hey man, I'm finna block you if you don't respond to my emails, right? That's what I deliberately said in the video, because he's a cool dude, but it's like I'm not finna, So the reason why I took the video down, because it's like, bro, I'm not finna do somebody a favor. He said, hey man, yo, I had finally made a song after all this time. Yo, can you do a reaction to it, man? He said, stuttering. He said, this will mean a lot, man, if you can do this reaction. I said, I got you, man. So at first, I did it, but then looking back on it, I said, wait a second. I said, wait, this dude not even answering my emails. He not responding. He ain't sending the songs, nothing. I said, wait, what the hell? I said, why am I doing a favor for somebody that's not living up to their word of hopping on the songs, and they not responding to me? So I took it down. That's not, that's not no hate or nothing like that. I don't have nothing against the dude. He seemed like a cool dude, but it's like, that's why I took the video down, because so it's been 6 months, 7 months. I'm responding. No. Yeah, I'm sending emails. I'm sending stuff. You're not answering. I said, but then you're gonna say, can I do a reaction to your song? And at first I was like, oh hell yeah, because I like to support people, support people's music, especially if they're like a subscriber of mine. Because I even said like a while ago, like, hey, if there's people out there that has music, I'll react to it, right? So at first I was like yeah, but then after I thought about it, I said, wait a second, this dude hasn't even answered none of my emails, hasn't answered nothing, hasn't got back to me about anything. I'm like, nah, man. And yeah, recently I did a live with him with Miles, and like I said, like I said, he seems like a cool dude, like I'm not saying like, man, fuck that nigga, because it's just a song. It's not like it's a big deal, but it's like, which that kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't really expecting him to join, but like I said, he seems like a cool dude, but it's just, I'm not finna do a favor for someone that's not doing a favor for me. So that's why I took the video down, That's what, the reason why your channel got deleted, because you treat your subscribers like shit. You fucking did a reaction to a subscriber's song, and then you took it down. It's karma. That's why your channel got deleted. It's because of karma. All that dumb shit. So supposedly the universe hates me and decided to get rid of my channel because I took one video down of a person's song. See, look at that. You don't even got the full. See, and look, that's what you have to go through on YouTube people that don't have the full facts, people that just want to speculate, and they don't even have the full facts. That's why the chip video got taken down. It makes sense, right? Imagine I reach out to you. Oh man, bro, like, and whatever, whatever your hobby is. Let's say you like to draw, or you like to draw, or you're a gamer, whatever. And I say, hey man, you like to draw. Hey man, yo, we should do a collab on a portrait, man. We should like come together, do a collab on a portrait, and you agree to it, and then you're waiting for me to like come to your house or something to help you with a portrait, but I never do. But then I say, hey, yo, I made this painting, man. Can you make a video about my painting? And it's like you do it, but then you realize, wait a second, I'm over making video about your stuff, but you never came over and helped me with the portrait that you said you was gonna help me with. So you take it down. So that's what happens when you're on YouTube. People don't have the full facts. They just talking out their fucking ass crack. Don't have the full fact. Oh, it's karma. You treat your subscribers like shit. I don't treat nobody like shit, right? The people that I treat like shit, or the people that I mock that are subscribers of mine, are the people that don't stand on business. The people that, because just because a person you're a subscriber, that don't mean that they're a good person. Just because somebody follows you, that doesn't mean that they're a good person. If you're a good person that follows me, hey man, I wish the best for you. But if you're a piece of shit that follows me and wants to be a jackass, or just wants to not stand on business, right? Not saying that dude's a piece of shit, or but he doesn't really stand on business so far from what I've seen. I'm not really going to interact with you, Like a dude, like, again, shout out to Oh Yes Miles or whatever, because I don't really know him like that, but he stands on business. He leaves a lot of comments. He gives me a lot of support. He shares the videos. He shouts me out. He a few times he even sent some money. Cool. He hopped on the songs. He's a cool dude. That's a real supporter right there. See, people like that. If he say, hey, yo, Sizzle, man, yo, I got this song, man. Can you do a reaction to it, man? Please, man. He don't even gotta say please. I'll do it, because his track record stands for itself. Of course, I'm gonna do a reaction to it if he ever asks me to do one. But a dude who wants me to do a reaction to his song, but he never lived up to his word for what he's supposed to do with me as far as a collab, I'm not finna do no reaction to your song. So yeah, man, get the fuck out. Oh, nigga, it's karma. No fucking karma. It's karma though. So that's karma then, right? And I already have a video on my older channel talking about karma, so I ain't finna get into that again. But yeah, karma for that bullshit. So karma, like I said, karma. Should I get into it? Nah, probably not. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm out.